Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the concept friendships, and I did touch on this on my IGTV live with my special guest. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, it's on my Instagram, so make sure you watch that before you watch this, because this is a sequel to that. We didn't get a chance to unpack and get into the depths of the conversation on friendships because we ran out of time. So this is an extended version and a part 2 to that. So I'm going to talk about some of the challenges I've faced with friendships, how I've overcome them, and what I could have done differently. As I mentioned in the IGTV video, I have had a rocky relationship with friendships, and I'm not sure exactly why, but I think the main reason why it has been that way throughout my life was because I didn't, and I still don't, tolerate fake people. And what I mean by this is individuals who claim to be your friend but aren't supportive or aren't trustworthy or honest with you. And individuals I feel this about, who I invest my time and energy in, I will cut off, and I have done so in the past. But what I can learn from this is now I won't cut off people as easily as I used to. So there are instances where I do remember that if you betrayed my trust, if you didn't always have my back, if you didn't want the best for me and weren't happy when I accomplished something, or wasn't happy when I was happy with my successes in life, then I would cut them straight away. But I do realize that maybe as I've gotten older, that cutting people off isn't necessarily the best thing to do. Maybe you could give people a second chance depending on the situation, but I don't regret doing so because my life wouldn't be the way it is today. However, I do realize that I could have handled things a bit differently. I do tend to cut people off, and I do this less now than I did before. For my sanity, for my time and energy I invest in my friendships, my peace of mind, just to not waste my time and efforts on a friendship, investing them in friendships that aren't worth it, or that I know in my heart won't last as long as I'd like them to. A big factor to why I think I had so many issues as well was because I was too nice, I was too kind, I was too generous. I would jump at the opportunity to help someone or be there for them, to invest my time and energy into building friendships because I thought those individuals were like-minded people, and unfortunately that wasn't the case. However, I do believe that there are like-minded people in this world, but I just haven't met them yet. If you relate to any of the experiences or challenges I've experienced or something similar, please let me know in the comment section below, because I do want to know your opinion and what you've gone through, so we can have a mutual understanding. And even if you've learned something from this video, please let me know. So the biggest challenge I've encountered with friendships so far in my life was a major turning point, and this was when I moved out, and my friends were completely judgmental and they weren't understanding at all, and some of my friends weren't even willing to ask why I moved out or how I was or just anything. They just straight cut me off, and that was very painful because, you know, I invested 6 years into these friendships and always going to their houses, they coming over to mine, and really bonding with them, and it was kind of like a sisterhood. And when those friends cut me off like that, or where I had to cut them off for my sanity and my peace of mind, it was very painful. And do understand that losing a good friend is painful, and in this point of my life I had lost a lot of my close friends, and as I mentioned in my previous videos, I keep my circle small, so imagine how that had impacted me. It was one of the worst experiences of my life, losing that many friends in that small amount of time and not even asking me, not even getting to know what happened or why it happened. And this was because I moved in with my partner, and I'll leave this topic for another video. That's when I really started learning my lessons, and the biggest lesson from that experience I have learned was that it's at your lowest or highest point in life where you will realize who is fake and who is real, who will be there for you and who will hide. This is pretty obvious, but I'm going to mention it anyway. So this has happened to me a few times where some of my friends have gotten angry, and instead of taking a deep breath to calm down and not express your frustrations and your emotions immediately, through text, one of my friends discriminated me, and I just needed to point this out. And this is general knowledge, and most of you probably know this, but if anyone discriminates you against your culture, your race, your religion, or even say things about your parents, just cut them off, because that is so toxic and you don't need that. Just say bye-bye to them and they're gone, because you don't need that very toxic negative people around you. It's not worth it. Just leave. There's no second chances, there's no sorries, because even when you get angry, like, you don't say really mean stuff like that, and to your close friends, and that to me was very painful. But all I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if someone is very angry, they should know not to go that low, and if they do, just cut them out. I think the most common challenge I faced with friendships was being myself, and that meant being honest. So there have been so many moments with a lot of people, a lot of my friends, where I just couldn't be honest, and I just didn't understand why. Because would you rather have someone who lied to your face when they would ask your opinion or constructive feedback, and would you rather lie about it and them feel good in the moment but that not helping improve themselves? Or would you be honest because they asked you for your opinion and give them either constructive criticism or just the truth in a really nice way? And I just didn't understand this, because it seems and it turns out that a lot of people just can't handle the truth, and that sucks, because you want your friends to be honest and real with you. That's why you call them your friends. You know, you don't want them to lie to your face and have them thinking that, oh, you know, you're just there for the good times, or you just should make me feel better. Of course you should make your friends feel better, but you shouldn't have to lie and go to that extent to make them feel good, because that's lying. You're not doing it for their benefit, you're not doing it for their own good at the end of the day. It's like society has become sensitive, and I don't mean this in a negative way, because I myself am sensitive as well to some certain degree. However, what I mean is people not being able to take constructive criticism. Like, in life, you will never be perfect. No one will ever be perfect. I will never be perfect, but we try to develop ourselves to be the best version of ourselves and keep trying, but we won't be perfect. But we need that constructive criticism, we need that feedback, we need different perspectives and different views of how we're going about things to make it better, to improve ourselves. And I don't mean listen to what everyone says. If someone says, oh, you know, I'm just being real, I'm just trying to help you. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. You just never know. But take everything with a grain of salt. Don't always believe everything, but try to learn how to take feedback. It's very sad that our society just can't be honest and be honest with each other, and when we are, they get offended. There's nothing to be offended about. Unless you're saying it in a negative way, then there's something to be offended of. But if you're saying it in a nice way, in a nice tone, and for their benefit, then there's nothing to be offended about. So there are a couple of takeaway messages from this video that I'd like to share with you. First of all, trust less. I've mentioned this throughout a couple of my videos, and this is because it's very important. Trusting is a whole nother video. It's a whole nother concept, but we need to understand that we can't trust everyone. Not everyone will want the best for us, and we just need to trust people with a grain of salt. But trust is a step-by-step process, and I'm not going to go into that anymore because I've mentioned that in a previous video. Number 2 is everyone won't like you, and that's okay. I know that when we're growing up, we have this thing where we need to please people and we need to fit in, and you don't. You don't need everyone to like you. You are who you are, and just own it. Whatever that is. If you're weird, if you're different, it doesn't matter what it is. Be who you are, because you're unique to this world. And just be happy that whatever happens, happens. And if people don't like you, they're not the right people for you, and they're not meant to be in your life. Number 3, listen more than you talk. You'll be surprised about the things you learn when you listen instead of talk. I've tried this in my own experience, and you learn so much about a person's personality, what they like talking about, different things, and it's just incredible. You even find out who your real friends are. So make sure to listen more than you open your mouth. Last but not least, remember that every experience is a lesson learned. You will go through many experiences in life, and you may have encountered challenges already, but remember that we can always gain knowledge and the skills from these experiences. We can take away the positives, we can pull them out of the negative situations, and we can learn for our future and make better decisions in life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed today's topic, and I hope you got a more in-depth conversation of friendships and learned a bit about my challenges of friendships, and maybe you've gone through something similar, and maybe you've also experienced hardships with friendships, because I know that I'm not the only one, and I know that a lot of people go through these things, but they're just a bit shy or think that it's uncommon, so we don't talk about it. But I want to open up this conversation. So if you have any stories to tell, if you have anything that you'd like to say, please drop them in the comments below or DM me. My DMs are always open, and I'm happy and willing to have a chat with you. Thank you, and stay safe everyone. Bye.